Welcome back to a new episode of Flash the Yarn. This is the episode for the month of November. Yes, my update will come live this Sunday, 29th at 2 p.m. Standard New Zealand time. Today is Friday and I'm doing this very last minute. It's been a bit hectic for me to try and finish everything on time, so I will try and rush through this today and show you as much as I can. There is a couple of skeins of some colorways that are still drying and I won't be able to show you that colorway on a couple of days, but I'll mention that when I get to it, and there will be plenty of photos anyways on the website when it becomes live if you want to have a closer look at that specific base. So a quick introduction, my name is Caroline, I am the dye behind Yarn. I live in the South Island of New Zealand, Dunedin, with my partner Sam and our recently new acquired puppy. Come here, bud. Okay, I'll show you to him because he's too cute, isn't he? This is my new son. Hello, hello. Who's cute? Who's cute? Yeah, so he's part of the reason that I'm a little bit late this week. He's not a puppy, he's 3 years old and he's a Pomeranian. He was my friend's dog and he was a little bit of a brat at time and became a little bit hard to handle for her, and she just had a baby, and so I kept Bo with us for a little bit, and I'm a pretty good dog trainer and I love dogs and I've been wanting to have my own for ages. They're just really expensive because I like little breeds like this. Anyway, so I've been I was keeping Bo and we really just, yes, you're the sweetest, we really just had an amazing bond. So after much consideration, my friend did the very selfless act of asking if I wanted to adopt him so he would have a life a little bit better with us, because we get to have much more time to take him outside on big walks, and obviously as a new mom she's got a lot to do on her plate and she can't give him the best attention that he deserves and the training that he needs to become a little bit of a better puppy. Yes, well, he's the sweetest dog but he does need a little bit of work. Yes, so anyways, come here. So because I only had him a week, I got him last Sunday. Obviously I needed to give a little bit of time to this guy, and a lot of training and stuff like that. And actually I have an appointment at the groomers in a couple hours. He was very difficult to groom, and so my poor friend could never brush him or do anything to him. When I got him, he was way longer head and I kind of butchered him by just chopping a lot of it. After much treating and taking our time and positive reinforcement, we got to the point when we could chop quite a bit of his fur, but it was very matted, so I couldn't just untangle it or anything like that. It was just to the point that it needed to be pretty shaved to go back to a good base, but it's a bit choppy and he looks a little bit like a punk rock raccoon right now, and it needs a little bit of untangling. Good boy. So I'm gonna try and bring him to the groomer. He's very scared of them, so I don't know how it's gonna go. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. He's probably gonna be asking for attention during this episode, but he's pretty good. I'll just tell him to go lay down. But yeah, this is Bo, and yeah, he's my new friend, New Year Yarn edition. So yeah, okay, let's get on to the yarn. Come on, lay down. Lay down. Good. Good boy. Just stay down. Okay, so let's get started. So I've got the update coming this Sunday. I'm very excited for this update, guys. I've got a couple of new base that have been bought overseas on Chester's wool. Oh, real quick before I get into it, I guess you can see that I've got a new finish object that I'm wearing now. This is my aquamarine that I finally finished. I won't talk too much about it here. I will talk about it during my next podcast episode, which I will film and publish next week, and I get to talk about the rest of my knitting and yarn edition and other editions that I've had. So I'll talk more about this then, but I just thought I'd wear it for today anyways. Come on. So we're gonna go through the yarn now. As I said, I've got a couple new base. I'm real excited about them, and they're beautiful, and I think at least one of them, if not both, are gonna become regular, and I'm gonna keep getting them. I guess I'll see how you guys like it, and if they sell this update, and if you guys like it, then I'll definitely bring them back. There's one that I will just bring back for my own selfish purpose that I actually just love dyeing on it, and the finished result is just gorgeous, so definitely will. Okay, but first, before we get into the colorways that I have for you this month, I will talk about a couple of mini sets that I'm bringing. So they're not completely finished, so I'll just show you quickly, but I've got a couple of mini sets that I put together. Each mini set is comprised of 5 20-gram minis. Now the bemol on this is that these are not sock weight. Usually I know that we'd prefer doing socking weight for minis because you could then use them for flap heel and gusset on socks, which, you know, is the perfect amount of yarn. Sadly, I just didn't have access to that much sock yarn this update. The only sock yarn that I have is one of those new baits that I was mentioning, which is 80% merino superwash, 15% nylon, and 5% silver stellina sparkle. So I didn't want to wind them into minis and waste them, well, not waste them, but anyways, I just thought that I'd do it on 100% merino, my bliss base, which is 100% merino superwash 4-ply. So I think they're still great, even though you can still knit the rest of the sock with them, just not the parts that would be rubbing, if that makes sense, so because that would wear and tear. But they're amazing for like blankets or tiny additions of colors, so you know, crochet blankets when you can change the color, or little squares. So they're still really good, and there was a bunch of people that wanted minis for a while, so I just thought that I'd do that. So I have 2 different sets that I'll show you today, and I think I've got 5 of each. So I'll go through the first one. So here is the set in itself. Yeah, so this one is more around the pink and warm, and you got a little bit of darker tone. Like, there's no fading agent, they're all singular, and I just put them together because I thought they paired well. So here's the first one. This is just a little bit of a light pink one, and it's got some speckles as well, and little like chartreuse, lighter green tone. So that's the first one. This second one is really cute, I really like it, and it's a mix of like light blue hinging onto grey, but just still kind of light blue, and, you know, skin, like, I don't know my words anymore, light blue kind of hue. And there's some baby pink as well, and there's a ton of speckles in these. Speckles blue, yellow, and bright fuchsia pink. So this is super cute as well. Next one is a darker one. This one is like a dark grey, and it's got red and yellow bits flashing through. So this is more of a moody kind of dark tone, as you can see here. And this next one was actually like it was initially like a 100-gram test skein for a new colorway that I'm bringing this month, but I didn't end up using that one. I had to do modifications, so what I did is that I then separated it into minis and reskeined it, so they look different because they've been reskeined, hence this stripy effect that you see there. But it won't obviously knit this stripy ways just because it's been skeined on a different diameter, if that makes sense. So this is very similar in the colors to a new colorway that I'm bringing this month called Moscow Mule, and you'll get to see this a bit closer. But anyways, it's made of nice beautiful rust and pink and chartreuse. So yeah, there you go. Next, the last one is a beautiful one, and this one is actually, this is the next one. So it's a beautiful dark green with like pink tones, and just a bit of a melt from like mauve to green, as you can see here. Yeah, so that's the first set. Yeah, you get to have a total of 100 gram. It's 5 different minis. Here they are all together. You can see that quite well. Put together. Yeah. Next one is, here's the set of the next one. So there is a beautiful, the first one is this beautiful rust again, with pink highlights, like fuchsia highlights coming through, either in the form of speckle of just like, yeah, it's just highlights and speckles really. And then we have just a mini of citron, which is one of my semi-solid, which is, you know, this very bright but light at the same time highlighter yellow. So that's one of them there. They just look really good together as a color combo, I found. And then I've got this mini, which is a mix of aqua and like light cream color. And there's obviously little speckles as well of neon colors going through. Next we have this beautiful little one as well, which is like a light, again, like cream, kind of vanilla cream kind of color. And you've got this highlights of brown, orange, and a bunch of wee speckles. There's quite a bit of speckles on this one. And it's just, the speckles are red, blue. There's an array of different colors. If it wants to focus, you might be able to see it. There we go. Yeah. And finally, the last one is just a semi-solid, deep, not really navy, more of like a royal blue. Yeah, so there you go. Those are the two different sets you get. So I will have, as I said, 5 of each of them ready. So that's the first thing. Whoop. Next we're gonna go through the colorways. So the first one that I'm bringing back this month, and it's the one that I had in my last update 3 weeks ago, it's Tusk. I know that this was really popular and I personally really love it myself. I've actually kept a few skeins, like I dyed some more just to keep some for myself for a few different projects that I'm currently knitting or will knit, because I just really like this one, and I think you guys did as well. It's just a perfect like base knit color. So here you go. So here it is on my DK base, which is 100% Corridel Superwash DK. It's gorgeous. So it's this ivory kind of color, and it's got the most beautiful speckles of yellow, peach, blue and green, and they all melt together on a part of the skein and just keep popping up. This is a perfect neutral to do many projects with. Just absolutely love this one, so it will become definitely a regular in the shop. So in DK here, I've only got 2. Each colorway will depend the amount that I have, that I bring, but for the DK anyway, I've only got 2 of each colorway. So there's only 2 of Tusk on DK. I just didn't have as much DK this month, but you know, I'll bring it back. So whoop. Here it is on Bliss, which is the same base of the minis, which is 100% 4-ply superwash. So just trying to find the speckle spots there. There you go. So here it is on Bliss. Super pretty. I think I might have 4 of them on Bliss coming this month. Then I have it on this new base, which is the Sparkle Sock one, and now this is just so pretty, and honestly the camera really doesn't give justice to the you know, sheen and brightness and softness of this yarn. It's a gorgeous 2-ply construction. As you can see here, the speckles on it are gorgeous. They're super fine, which I love. You get to like really look at the spots. You get to really just have like the finest speckle. So it's absolutely stunning. And yeah, this is a sock base. So there you go. So there's definitely 4 on of Tusk coming on Sparkle Sock, which is probably the name that I'm gonna keep for this base. Just call it Sparkle Sock. Right. Next I've got it on Smitten Linen, which is also a new base, and it is a single ply, 90% superwash merino and 10% linen. I've been wanting to try dyeing on linen for ages. I know you guys were also keen, especially for the summer. It's a little bit lighter. I really love the effect that it gives the yarn. You won't see it as much on a light colored skein, but you'll see it better on the darker one. The linen, obviously being a plant fiber, resists the dye, and it gives this natural rustic feeling to the yarn, and it won't dye. So on darker skein you'll have like a lighter thread going through the whole yarn, which looks really nice. And on the lighter one you can still just have this eventual little pops of linen, as you can see up there, that come out. I just really like it. It gives just a little bit more stiffness to the yarn, but not in a bad way, just in a very lovely, delicious way. It's really soft. I'm a sucker for single plies as superwash, so instead of just doing the 100% superwash, I thought I'd switch to a linen one for this month. Let me know what you think about it. I'd love to know if you guys like it, because it will depend on that if I bring it back or not. So Tusk, I've got 4 of it on linen as well coming to the shop. Okay, and the final one is on Kid Silk Mohair, which is my base called Dainty. So I have only, I think, 2 coming on the mohair, but it's still super duper pretty. Yeah, perfect to like hold either with this color or with anything else to give a bit of fluff. Yeah, so 50 gram skeins of mohair. I've got a couple coming on Tusk. Yay! That's it. I hope the lighting isn't too bad. It's a weird day, so we're gonna do with it. Hold on. Okay. So next colorway that I have is a colorway that I'm bringing back, and it's Cheesecake. So I've done this colorway. Initially I dyed it, I think, at the time of the Black Lives Matter raffle, and it was part of the raffle present, and I haven't dyed it since then, but I'm bringing it back this time. As per usual, if you know me, you know that I like to bring different colorways that kind of play together, so that you can buy a few colors and just either play with them into a color combination for a color work project, or even a fade if you manage to get a fade going, which you can with several of these colors this month. So here it is on DK Lush. So it's it's like a darker yellow than Tusk, so it's more creamy, like kind of like custardy color base, and you've got like pink highlights, so it's perfectly like a strawberry chocolate cheesecake. You've got those chocolate brown there, and then you've got, what is it, blueberry speckles coming through there. So it's a mix of golden, blue and pink speckles, mainly on the purple and blue side. And yeah, so here it is. I can't remember how many I have coming on DK. Oh no, sorry, the DK is 2 for each colorway, so 2 of them on DK. Here you go. And then I have it here on Bliss. So that's the 100% superwash merino 4-ply. Yeah, gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, so this is really pretty. As you can see, paired with Tusk, it would work really well as a colorway combination. They have, I'll try and just show you with the sock base just for the speckle comparison. This specific skein doesn't necessarily have much speckles of blueberry, or it does, but it would be inside. But as you can see, the speckles are very similar, so you can definitely just pair these 2 and have like a really nice combo there. So on Bliss. Now next I've got it on Smitten Linen. Isn't it so pretty? So let me try and show you what I mean by the linen. As you can see on this darker base, the chocolate there, you will be able to see more of the linen coming through. Maybe not especially in this kind. I know you can see it in Moscow Mule, so I'll get to that and be able to show you. But it's still absolutely stunning on this base as well. Here you go. I've got it on Sparkle Sock, of course. And there you go. See how pretty that is, with like the sheen of the sparkle going through the dark. Like, look at here. So gorgeous. Yeah, this is the bomb. Sparkle Sock, Cheesecake, and finally I have it on the mohair. Yay, okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm kind of really rushing through these. I don't really want to lose time just chatting too much, even though I always do that. Yeah, I've got like a pretty busy day, so Okay, next colorway is a classic. It's Milkshake, so I bring back Milkshake. I just do, it's drying on the DK and the Bliss base, so I can't show it to you on this base, but I've done it before, and there'll definitely be pictures because it's a semi-solid. There's not too much to show anyways, but here it is on the Sparkle Sock. So I've got a couple, I think maybe 2 or 4. I honestly can't remember the numbers of what I'm bringing, so it's always between 2 to 4 anyways. I'm you know guys, if you know me, if you've been buying from me or following me for a while, I'm specializing in small batches. I'd like to bring more, and I obviously will work to increase the amount that I bring. However, especially certain colors take me a long time to work on. I think it's Peyote, the color, which I'm bringing as well this month. So I've calculated to make 4 Peyote, which is 1 batch on 1 base. It takes me up to 3 hours of work between letting it cool, all of that. So anyways, I'm doing my best to bring more to you guys, and I will bring more. Like, I'm actually I've said that before, but I'm full-time now doing this, so this is my first update since I've been full-time. I still have to adjust a few things, but it's going really well. I'm loving it. So yeah, the more you buy from me, the more I can stay full-time and then bring you more, and you know, anyways. So here it is on Smith & Linen. It's a perfect pink. It's dusty just enough. It's just enough pink without being too bright, too pinky, you know what I mean? And it's just gorgeous base. So like, just to give you an example here, of these 3 together on Smith & Linen, see how pretty that is. So you could build a fade from Tusk to Cheesecake to Milkshake and have just like the most subtle pretty fade, really. So yeah, whoops. And I have it there on mohair as well. Always perfect to have like semi-solid of light pastel like this on mohair. I personally really like them. I like to hold them with many different projects. It just gives it different kind of hue and tone to certain yarn, to mix it with any kind of color you want, really. Okay, next is this new colorway that I'm bringing to you called Moscow Mule. Moscow Mule is awesome. I just really like it, and it's again same as Milkshake. I've got the DK and the Bliss drying, so I can't show it to you on this, but I will put a lot of pictures. So here it is anyways on the Sparkle Sock. Oh my god, see how pretty. I'm obsessed with this color personally. It's the perfect mix of rusty, like golden and brown, yeah, rust, with highlights of chartreuse and fuchsia. So yeah, and there's like red speckles and aqua speckles running throughout it as well as brown speckles. See, as you can see here, like the red little speckles. Yeah, it's just, there we go. It's a really pretty color. That will obviously knit as like, it will pull. It'll be like one of those striped colorways, so you'd have to work out a pattern to make this, because if I undo it to show you how it's gonna knit up, as you can see, it starts as a gradient and then goes towards this. So it will do like a stripe kind of pulley version. So it depends if you're into this kind of stuff or not. I personally like it, but each to their own. And yeah, so I have, I think 4, but I'm not sure, coming anyways on Sparkle Sock. Yeah, so here it is on Smith & Linen. So pretty. You can really see the linen a lot more on this color than you could before, especially like here. Yeah, so that is super pretty and very, very soft. So gorgeous. And here it is on mohair. Bright, very, very bright. Just love it. Yeah. Okay. Next, I've got a couple of one of a kind. These are only coming, there's only 2 of each on each base, and they are only coming on the Sparkle Sock base and on the Smith & Linen base. They were initially a mistake. I was actually a derivative from Milkshake. I was dyeing Milkshake on this base and made a bit of a mistake, and so I decided to make some one of a kind as a result. So here they are They're really pretty, kind of like a mix of lipstick colors together. So with this Milkshake base, just to show you if I find it here, you can see how well they pair together, obviously because of the same undercoat and underlay of pink. And this one has speckles, like light gray to black speckles, but like this red and pink highlights as well going through. So here on the Smitten Linen, and here on the Sparkle Sock. Come on, focus. Sometimes it's taking it a while. There we go. So it's really pretty. Just a nice, I say girly color, but I need to stop doing this whole like gender thing. It's just old reflexes, I think. It really doesn't mean anything. I've actually like unrelated, you know, little section, but my friend Jess from Fox's Blog Knit just released a new podcast episode. She's amazing, and she knitted a baby cardigan for her newborn nephew, and it's made with my Virgo colorway, which is this super bright pink with pink speckles and yellow speckles, and she mixed it with black, and it's just so gorgeous. And I absolutely adore using colors like this for little boys. I just think it's just so pretty and uncommon. Anyways, it doesn't matter, really shouldn't matter, the color is what matters. Next we've got Peyote. So Peyote, here it is to start with on DK. You know it by now, I've talked about it quite a lot. It's my masterpiece color. I absolutely love this one. I don't think I'm gonna bring it in the next update, just because it's the second to third time I'm bringing it now. It is definitely popular and it will definitely come back in future, but not in the next update or the one after that. I just need to keep rotating the colors. But here it is anyways on the Corridale DK. It's this perfect minty green with highlights of fluoro yellow, and it's packed with fuchsia, purple, blue, a lot of speckles. Yeah, so here's on DK. Here it is on Bliss. So yeah, and here it is on Smitten Linen. This batch of Smitten Linen actually came a little bit more purple than I wanted, so there's a bit more of this kind of like middle of the road mix of, it's really pretty actually, but it's a mix of the underlay pink and a very light amount of purple that's like on top of each other. It looks really pretty, but it means that you've got more of this color than the mint. So it wasn't supposed to look 100% like this, but if you've watched this episode before, I've mentioned how difficult this colorway is to achieve, and as I said before, it can take me up to 2-3 hours to make a batch, just because of how many steps there is. But anyways, and because I'm playing with dyes that are very capricious and prone to leaking and spreading, so really I need to watch the water level of my dyeing at all times and do several emergency steps to take it out and you know, prevent. And obviously this is a new base. I think I actually started dyeing Smitten Linen on Peyote first, so different base, different to react differently to dyes. And yeah, so this one came out just a little bit more on the purple side, but in future if I bring it back, that'll be more pink. It's still absolutely stunning though. So here it is. I'm pretty sure that I've got, except for DK, I'm pretty sure I've got 4 of each base for this color, just because I know how much you guys like it. Here it is on Sparkle Sock. So that's more the color we're looking, just a little bit more green pink than the Smitten Linen. So this is what Peyote is supposed to look like. This base, however, is so easy to dye. I mean, it just absorbs the dye like a dream, and so it's absolutely perfect for this colorway and showing all the fine and beauty speckles that are comprising it. So yeah, it's just really pretty on this base. There's only 4 of it, so I would rush to it because that's not going to come back for a little while, as I said. But yeah, and here it is on Mohair. Mohair being a non-superwash base, I had to be really cautious as well not to let those capricious purple leak everywhere and absorb all that beautiful mint. But I think I managed it pretty well, and so the result is spot on. So I'm really happy with that. There is actually 4 of it on Mohair coming as well. Yay. Okay, so that's it for Peyote. Next we've got Dance Party. So Dance Party is an old colorway of mine. I've done it a bunch of times. It's a favorite. It was time to bring it back. So here it is on Bliss. So Dance Party is this absolutely gorgeous mix of light aqua, light coral and yellows, and they all blend together, and then there's highlights of the same color on speckles with speckles of lilac and black. So here it is on Bliss. I think I've got 4 of them on Bliss coming. I've got it here on DK. Only got a couple of them on DK, but they really are a gem. Yeah. Sparkle sock. Oh my god, the sparkle sock one is so good. This is also like a color that will come differently in every batch, because there's those are also dyes that are capricious to dye and they tend to leak, and you know, you have to be really cautious how you lay them out because you don't want those blues and yellow to mix and create any greens. So some of them will be more speckly than others, some of them will be a bit more intense in colors than others, but this batch on Sparkle Sock came out just perfect. I'm obsessed with it. It's got the most beautiful amount of speckles. Yeah, so there's 4 of it on this base. And on the Smitten Linen. Now, how good is that? Yeah, I love it. Just look at it. Yeah, Smitten Linen. Boop. And on the mohair. The mohair is really bright. It came out actually almost brighter than the other batches. And actually it's not a bad thing, because if you hold it together, I mean, mohair being this kind of light lace weight anyways will tend to be more faded, so if you make it a bit brighter, it just shows that you'll definitely see that color popping off. So here you go. Whoop. Great. That's it for Dance Party. Next I've got Sherbet. Now Sherbet is also another color of mine that I've done, and it's very similar to Dance Party in that it's those pastels and fluoro meeting, but different ones, more on the blue and green side. The only issue that I've had with this batch is that I have some of them that are brighter on different base than others. So I need to rework my recipe, because I must have, like, I don't know, but anyways, here it is on the Bliss, and you'll see what I mean when I'll show them to you later. So Sherbet is this mix of green and aqua and blue, and with just a little bit of speckles of purple. There's speckles of green, blue, just a bit of different colors, but they all go very well together. So here it is on the Bliss. Here on the DK, I've got only 2 of DK and 2 of Bliss coming, so they were dyed together in one batch, so they are similar in terms of colors and brightness. Towards the Smitten Linen and the Sparkle Sock are lighter in colors. I didn't want to risk over dyeing them and ruining them, so I left them the way they are in lighter tones, but in future when I bring it back, I will bring it back to this amount of color, because I just rather it being a bit brighter than on the lighter side. But anyways, here it is on the Smitten Linen, and you see what I mean. It's still absolutely stunning, but it's a lot lighter, it's a lot more pastel than it is on the other one. So to compare, as you can see there, it's just a lot lighter. So it doesn't mean it's not good, it's just came out different, that's all. And you can see perfect. So it's still really nice. I actually really like those soft pastel myself, so that's why I was a bit torn, and I was like, oh, I'll just keep it the way it is because I really like it as well. And here it is on the Sparkle Sock, and similarly to Smitten Linen, it's a bit lighter in color, but just super stunning. Those are dyes that I can't precisely measure precisely, because I use so little of it that even my scale can't pick up the amount that I'm putting on it, so I really have to just do it by eyesight, and so that means that sometimes it'll come out different. And it's the same for Dance Party. Those colors are just such little dyes to get to this amount that it's varying in the batch, in the vibrancy. And finally, I have it on mohair, which is a lot brighter, like same as Dance Party. The mohair came out brighter on purpose, just so you really have this flash of colors there. And it's got the most beautiful wee specks as well. Speckles are pretty hard to achieve on mohair just because it's non-superwash, but it's worth a try. And it's just, they will come out like more splotchy, but it's still, they need to be there, you know what I mean? So there you go. That's it for Sherbet. Next, we've only got 2 colors left, and we are going into the greener section now. So I don't know if you noticed, but all of this have been shown to you in an order almost of perfect gradient, so you can mix and match. But just following Sherbet, we've got now That's Mint. So That's Mint is also an old colorway of mine. Well, old. It's definitely been here before, and I just really love it. And it's actually one of my favorite. It's simple. But often the simplest is the better, you know. So here it is on Bliss, and it's just this almost semi-solid base of mint, very light pastel mint, and it's got highlight speckle of aqua, yellow, orange, a little bit of brown for contrast. But yeah, it's very subtle, it's very gentle. I've knitted a few things with it. Well, I'm knitting with it in one of my projects at the moment as a color base for a colorwork project, and I just think it's perfect. See how well it would mix with here Sherbet to start a fade. It's pretty perfect, I think, to just go from there, just because of those like highlight of neon yellow that you can see here. Maybe you can see this. Anyways, those are then reflected in a bigger level on Sherbet. They're perfect together. So here on Bliss, That's Mint, and then I have it here on DK. Yep, you get to see the speckles a bit more on the DK, thanks to the thickness of the yarn. So you get to see a bit more of what I mean. Like, for example, love this strand of like tiny brown flecks coming through. But yeah. And then I have it there on Sparkle Sock. Super pretty. Just perfect. Here's a speckle. There'll be other places with speckles. There you go. It's just the right amount, you know. It's one of those lightly speckled colorway, which become one of my staple, not my staple one, but like one that I really like now, like Tusk, just to speckle enough that you'd have some pop, but not to take away from the color. I mean, I don't think I've got as a dyer a specific style. I think I like to create many different things, and so, you know, I also love those heavily speckled colors as well. But these I just love to dye. They're much faster to make for me, and just enjoyable, because I always love the result a lot. I just think they're perfect neutral base color. They're a lot easier to like use in project than some of these other more packed in color, more eccentric colorways. And here it is on Smitten Linen. Really nice on this one. Yeah, it's really good. That linen really gives a little bit extra stiffness to that yarn, which also will prevent it from, what's the term, sorry, from peeling, which can be a thing with single ply. But I just find, because I'm actually knitting with Smitten Linen on Tusk in a project right now, which I'll show you in my next episode, and I had made a bunch of mistakes, so I had to frog and reknit the same section a bunch of times, and I found that the peeling was lessened than usually when I knit with single ply, and I'm guessing it is because of the linen in there, the 10% linen. So yeah, that's something. So anyways, here it is, and finally I have it on mohair. we go. Yay. Now, last but not least, colorway. This is an oldie but a goodie. I haven't dyed this colorway in ages. I think I created it like a couple of years ago, along with other faves, and it just took a like almost retired position for ages. And I really wanted to dye more greens this update, so I decided that this one couldn't be missed. So here is Malachite. Malachite, if you do not know, is a precious stone, a crystal, however you want to call it. It's more of a precious stone, and it's this gorgeous mix of green that goes from darker green, emerald, to lighter, more bright ones. So here it is on Bliss, and it's just one of favorite one, but because I haven't dyed it in so long and it was an old recipe, I was way less it was a way less detailed recipe than I tend to write my recipes now, in terms of steps and things. So I kind of had to do a bit of a guessing game for some parts of it, which resulted in different outcome, depending on the base. Not massive, but just I think in terms of like how dark the dark emerald bits are getting. Like I'll show you, but pretty much. So here is on Bliss, and I'll show you on the DK. So the Bliss and DK are pretty much coming, and the mohair are coming out as the color is supposed to look like. So this Bliss one there. This one is almost, it's got less white space than the other one. But it's got those really dark bits, which are supposed to be part of the colorway, but it's also a dye that I don't know if dye expires, but this one specifically is another of those capricious one that keeps leaking and leaking, and ends up like overtaking the white space everywhere if I'm not being careful. So as you can see, it's just it's about the same here. So these are perfect, and they're supposed to come out like this. So Bliss and DK, and then have it here, like for example on Smith & Linen, you'll see it's pretty much the same. The only difference is that there's less darker bits. So it's, even though you've got those variegated greens, you have less spots where it's oversaturated. And I thought about over dyeing them to add these, but once again, because it's a new base, I was a bit worried about how if it would ruin it, and if it would take away the lighter white space where I have the speckles there. So I kind of just didn't want to risk it, to be honest, and I think it looked really good like this anyways. But it's worth mentioning because there is slight differences. As you can see, like here, this darker cametil bits are not as present on this one. Like there is hints of it, but it's not as much. Now there might be more on I think I've got, I don't know if I've got 2 or 4 of the Smith & Linen, but it might be more on the other skin. The one that I happen to pick for this vlog isn't as saturated on the greens, again just due to how the yarn takes the dye, and probably just me trying to understand this old recipe. But in future, if I do bring it back, which I will, but I don't know when, I will bring darker spots to it. So like kind of seem more like closer to this this one, there will be darker bits of it. And here it is on Sock, Sparkle Sock. It's showing lighter in the camera than it is in real life. It's just a little bit darker in real life, but it's still perfect. And as you can see, like this is just a perfect kind of yarn to then mix with here, that's mint. So you'd get perfect gradient from, I can't show you this, there you go, from that's mint, and then you could even add a sherbet to that and get a beautiful I've got sherbet there, but it's the Smith & Linen one, it doesn't matter. You can get this like subtle tone change from the dark green to this almost semi-solid mint one to sherbet, and then you can even go from sherbet to dense party. Yeah, so the palette is meant to be interactive this way. There you go. And then finally I have it on the mohair. Now the mohair is the one that display the color the best, funnily enough, because often the mohair is the difficult one to dye, but it came out perfect. So it is supposed to be this variegated in terms of color. It's supposed to have these dark bits, this lighter bits, this more fluoro spots, the speckles. Yeah, well, it is what it is. So here it is. As I said before, the mohair came out brighter, which is a good news, and I somehow managed to not let those green leaks, so there's still some white space here, which is what I wanted for the color. There's some speckles as well. I don't know if it's focused, but yeah, okay. Anyways, that's it, guys. I might show you a couple of color combos just for the hell of it, and then we'll call it a day. So as I was saying to you before, here's, for example, Smitten Linen, Dance Party on Smitten Linen. You could pair it with Sherbet, so you keep those like fun pastel light tones. From there you could add like there's colors that are just gonna go well with it, even though they don't necessarily fade into it. If I can find it, whoop, Tusk would be really good to be if you want to keep it light, so you can just add this Tusk there and get this perfect combo. You can go to what I said before and add That's Mint there, and then if you want to keep your pinks and go for more pink, you can I don't know if I can find it. Hold on, you guys. I can't find the Milkshake one, but you can get that lipstick one of a kind OOAK as well. Going from there to there, that works. Moscow Mule would be then perfect to follow this. So that's another one you can do. Moscow Mule to that lipstick one to Dance Party. Look amazing. Yeah, so there's really just a bunch of combo possible here. You could go from Malachite. I don't know if they look really good together. They're not really fading though, but Malachite and Moscow Mule together somehow just have that zing feeling. I think it's the mix of the kind of cooler greens that are in Malachite to the like more yellow greens that are in Moscow Mule, and the pink always mix really nice with this as well. What else? As I said before, Tusk and Cheesecake together. If I can finally find it, I will show. There it is, with Milkshake. Go really well. So from there you could keep going if you wanted to have like a longer one and add this guy, or no, that doesn't really work, but probably Dance Party would. There you go. So you could go for Dance Party there. A bunch of options. Peyote would work really well as well. So all of these on Smitten Linen at the moment. So this is what you get. Peyote, Sherbet, That's Mint, in different order, you know what I mean? Like this. Yeah. And then from there, they go to Milkshake, or this guy. Build it up from there. Whoop. You can just go infinitely into color combination here. They all have this kind of similar speckles, so it's all kept in mind so that you can play and create the colors you want with them. Okay, I'm not gonna last that much longer, you guys, because I've just, as I said, I've got a really busy day ahead of me. Thank you again so much for being here for another episode of Flash the Yarn. As I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, so I'm hoping to work on this and release it. Today's Friday, at the latest tomorrow on Saturday, if not tonight. It might probably be tomorrow morning. The newsletter for this update will go either this afternoon or same thing tomorrow morning. I do the newsletter out of you know, have it because I know some people do like it, but I'm not the best at it, so I don't tend to actually show more in the newsletter than I would actually show you here. Like, this is the best newsletter you'll get, is this episode. You get to see pretty much, except for today because I was really a little bit in a rush, you get to see pretty much the color on every base for each colorway, so that's the most detailed you'll get. Now, if you don't have time to watch this or you're not interested, I totally understand as well, which is why I do send a newsletter as well. The newsletter is more of a reminder for people that the update is happening, you know, on Sunday, and if you want to get ready, do it. My last few updates have been flying off the shelf. It's been amazing. Like, I'm so humbled by this and very, very grateful. Yeah. Because I have only little batches of certain colors, it's always the same ones that tend to fly out the door first, hence why I'm tend to try and bring, I brought Peyote and Tusk back for this update because I know they were really popular. I just want people to get a chance to get their hand on there. I will keep bringing them back. I'm really hoping to up my quantity to a minimum of 4 per colorway in future, and go from there to 6 to 8. I just got to work on my budget. As I said, I'm full-time now, and I just really have to be careful with how I work things and, you know, have enough income to buy more yarn to bring you more things. But it's also like, every time that I think that I got to the point when I'm like, yeah, I'm ahead of my schedule, I've done all my work, and I think I've got enough yarn for this update, then I hear from like the Fell Princess in town, and they're like, my shelves are empty and I need like 5 or 6 kilos. I'm like, oh my god. So it's really good, and I'm super grateful. But yeah, it seems like I'm very lucky to actually have become a little bit popular in the last few updates anyways, to the point that, yeah, what I'm saying is one the update goes live, it kind of disappears really quickly. I've had a few people telling me, oh my god, you already sold out like of many colors after, you know, 20 minutes. So if you like something, I recommend you put an alarm. I will as I usually do in my stories on Instagram, which by the way, I'm on Instagram at Yarn, on Facebook at Yarn, on YouTube and everything. You can find me there. I really recommend, if you've got Instagram, to follow me there. This is where I'm the most active. This is where I put stories and updates all the time. Yeah, I will put a reminder in my stories. You can turn that alarm on, and it will let you know when my update is live. But yeah, try to be on the website on the dot at 2, because they are flying out the door, and so this is super for me and super positive. But I do feel for people that are trying to get a specific thing and they can't get their hands of it. So again, I will try to do my best to bring you more amounts and more colors in the future. Just, we gotta keep going like this. I'm adjusting to everything. I've been working on a few different projects on the side for Yarn as well, which took a bit of my time, and also had to be working this past week a lot for this little school of nuggets. Sorry for the mess, but hey, Bo, 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 Bo. I just have to give you a dramatic zoom on his face because he's too cute, isn't he? Are you super cute? Are you super cute? Yeah, baby talk is unavoidable, isn't it? So anyways, as I was saying, thank you so much for being here, following me. I don't want to do this, but I almost have to. If you like this episode, it really does a lot for me that you click either like, or you share it, or you put a comment, or any of it. As you know, the algorithm on Instagram, YouTube and all that is not favorable for tiny little businesses like me, when you don't have a ton of followers and you tend to be drowned within other posts and disappear. So if you do you know, like, share, subscribe, all of that, it really helps my channel. It really helps doing all of this. A little bit of a favor and more exposure, which I can do with more exposure. I can always do with more exposure. So yeah, thanks guys, and I will record, as I said, my new podcast episode where I get to talk about this guy and a bunch of other needs and stuff like that next week. And yeah, have a good day, have a good weekend. Hope to see you on Sunday or meet you there, and yeah, don't hesitate to message me if you need anything. Have a good day. Bye bye.